Okay. All right. I'm here. I'm excited to be here. Hello, 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 hello. Hello, all. Why is that? Okay. Hello. Okay, so let me say this right off the bat. We have this Monday, and we will not be here next Monday. And we probably will not be here the Monday after that. So I have some traveling, and I'm going to be, good morning, hello, I'm going to be in England, and I'm so excited. So we will probably not, we will definitely not have be together next Monday, and we will probably not be together on the 29th, but that is going to be a wait and see because I get back on the 28th. So very, very excited to be going out of town, and excited to be back with you and share all the wonderful, exciting things once I get back. So, and thank you so much for those of you who messaged me about my headache and the eclipse and all of that. I appreciate that so much. Yes, I was feeling very much better by Wednesday, but woo, that was just some serious eclipse energy. And what was so interesting is that I talked with some friends who are not mediums or psychics, or just, kind of empathic. I know, but it's so exciting. I can't wait. This is actually a trip that was postponed from 2020, so we're really, really excited. And then, so this is actually 3 trips back to back. So I have just came back from Cleveland for a wedding. That was amazing. Going to England, and then coming back from that, and immediately turning around and going to Alaska. So there will be a lot where we're going to have a gap, which sucks. But so we're going to have today we're together. Next week we will not be. I'm going to really try for the 29th. You probably are just going to get me but I'm really going to try for the 29th, because the next week on the 6th I'm gone again. And so, but after that, that should be, and I'm gone for 2 weeks again. And then after that, we will be, that will be the end of this chunk of travel. And then hopefully, if I can get online in some places here and there to be hello. But it's just going to be a lot of, this just wasn't supposed to be 3 trips back to back. Hi. But it just, the way it ended up, that we had to move some things around. So it ended up to be 3 trips back to back, which means that if we don't see me on the 29th, then and I'm going to be, I know I'm going to be so excited to see you all. But so it probably will be on the 29th. But watch this space so that you can see the posts if I'm going to be awake enough to do that. Fingers crossed. And then after that, it'll be 2 weeks while I'm on a cruise to Alaska with my husband, which is amazing, because that also was rescheduled from 2020, that we were supposed to go for our 25th wedding anniversary, and so now we're going for our 29th wedding anniversary. Okay. So it's very exciting, and we had to move some things, and so it's going to end up to be that I'm not going to be here for a while, but then I will be, and that's exciting. So, okay, I want to talk about the after the eclipse. So, I want to talk about after the eclipse, and for anybody who might watch and think that my house will be sitting empty, I will remind everyone I have 3 big dogs and 2 giant 20-year-olds. So it will definitely not be, the house is definitely not going to be empty. I've already been told about the party that's been planned, so for somebody's birthday while we're away. So I think it's hilarious. Anyway, I want to talk about the after the eclipse, because we are still in Mercury retrograde. We're still in a place of the solar flares, the solar energy that was coming into our atmosphere at the same time as the eclipse, and that we are now being urged forward, right? We've had this major eclipse, we've had this major energetic shift, and now it's this time for us to move forward. But it's also a time for second chances. Mercury retrograde brings things up for us to have a redo. Mercury retrograde brings things up for us to look backwards, because the whole thing about Mercury retrograde is we're all still going forward, but that Mercury appears to be going backwards. So if you're unclear about what a retrograde is, think about it like this, where you are driving down the highway and you have yourself and another car in the lanes next to you, and that car goes ahead of you and goes to pass you, and then you have, now it looks like you're going backwards even though you're both still going forward. That car's going forward, so you're still going forward, but it looks, if someone was looking sideways, it would look like you were going backwards as that car pulls away from you. So we're all still going forward, but it has the appearance of going backwards. And so this is where retrograde has this idea of we get to look backwards while we're still going forwards, because we can look at those things and say, well, what would I do differently? How would I handle that differently? What would I do over again? And so this is really, hi, sweetheart. So this is a really, really important time for us to be able to say what's coming up for us, what kind of communications, what kind of bugaboos, what kind of shit, I can't believe I did that again. If you kept stubbing your toe on the same piece of furniture in your house, eventually you'd say, I should probably move that piece of furniture, or I should really make a point to not walk in that direction, right? I literally did that in my house because I swear I think I broke my toe. And so a while ago, I accidentally, it was way back at Christmas, I went to go turn off the Christmas lights. We had a little pedal out on the front porch, and I went to stick my foot in there, and I clipped my toe on the bench that we have on the front porch. And I was like, this hurts so bad. And then about a week later, I did the exact same thing on a bar stool that was in the house. And I was like, and it had never happened before. And I was like, I'm like, okay, so clearly I need to be careful. I need to slow down. I need to try to be more protective, put my bubble around myself. It wasn't even a Mercury retrograde, but it's what do I need to look at in this situation to say, what is it that's over here in this aspect of my life that's trying to bite me in the butt or in the toe, and how can I come over here and give that some space and walk away from that and be more protected? What do I need to protect? Something that is stepping all over my toe, right? So these things, I'm stubbing my toe, what am I kicking up against that is that I need to walk away from, that is not something I need to keep kicking at. So these things are not accidents. It seems like, I accidentally stubbed my toe, but when you stub your toe 2 times on the exact same toe doing the exact same stupid thing, what is it that is trying to be shown to you? And so that's what we're going on now with Mercury retrograde. We are going forward. We are moving forward. We are being positive. We are trying to bring in light. We're taking all the things that we've learned from all the reflection that we did before the new year, all the reflection that we did before the eclipse, and this is a time where okay, what have I learned? I gave my wishes to the solar eclipse genie. How do I go forward on that? Because let me be very, very clear. You can give all the wishes to the solar eclipse genie that you want, but if you are not getting your car in gear, the solar eclipse genie cannot grant any wishes, okay? So it's really, really important that we are moving forward on our part. And our part is the assumption that what we've asked for is going to come. However, we have to continue rowing the boat. We can't stop rowing the boat, okay? So if you are sitting on the sidelines going, well, that was a great eclipse. I had asked the eclipse genie. I did all my prep work. I knew exactly what I wanted. I sent in my wishes. Now it's just waiting for the pizza delivery guy, right, to show up and give me what I have asked for. That is not how it works. Okay, so we have done all the good work, hopefully, and we had the eclipse, and we put in our wishes to the eclipse genie, but we have to now act on it. How would you act if you were a person who had already received the thing you asked the eclipse genie for? If you were already a person with a book deal, or a dream job, or a healthy body, how would you think? How would you act? Now, if you are not a person with a healthy body, please do not suddenly just hop up and go for a jog. That is not going to be healthy for your body. If you are not somebody who runs or jogs or anything like that, and you suddenly spring into action, you are going to not be a happy person in about 48 hours, okay? Probably faster. But how would we act? How would we react? How would we show up in the world if we were certain that what we are asking for is coming our way? Okay, if I knew I had a book deal, I'd be like making sure I would get my hair cut and my gray was not showing, making sure that I got the book finished. I'm making sure that I have, my dog is rolling in the foyer, the big dog is rolling in the foyer, he's being very silly. So I'm going to make sure that I am ready for when, the Eclipse Genie shows up at my door. Yes, I know you are not going to go up for a run. So I have this thought of like, okay, I don't know who's old enough to remember Ed McMahon. So years ago, before Jay Leno, there was The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson. And Johnny Carson was this amazing comedian, and he was the leader of The Tonight Show, was the late night show after the news, the 11 o'clock news or the whatever, 10 o'clock news, 11 o'clock news. And so on TV for years. And his sidekick was Ed McMahon. Ed McMahon also had a bunch of other side hustles where he was hawking this and selling that. And one of the things that he did was he was with the Publishers Clearinghouse Sweepstakes. Now, Publishers Clearinghouse Sweepstakes is a thing we have in this country. I don't know if you have it in other countries, where they try to give you really great deals on some interesting stuff. And I'll tell you that I have gotten some really cool stuff from them for really low prices for, over the time of the years. But the idea is they want you to like jump through these hoops. They want you to like put stickers on things. There's scratch off games. You have to send everything back. And then it gets into this thing of like, but if you don't do it, you won't win. And you won't, and it's this like sort of peer pressure-y, guilty thing that happens with this thing because you might win $1 million. I mean, I don't know anybody that's ever won, but Ed McMahon would show up at the person's house with a big giant check in the balloons, and they want you to think that it's like, oh, they, just showed up, and maybe they did, but I know since having worked in TV movie production, nobody goes on camera without a release form. Now, you could have a release form signed after the fact, but every single time these people are like, they're like in their house coats, or they're like, although I will say nobody ever had curlers in their hair that I can remember, but these folks were not like looking like they expected the $1 million to show up on their doorstep. And so I'm saying that if you're expecting the $1 million to show up on your doorstep, act like it. Now, you don't have to be in your ball gown or anything like that, but if you, and don't go spending irresponsibly, I'm not talking about that either, but it's a mindset. It's a mindset. For years and years, my husband and I had we had money trouble. We had money trouble for years. We had little kids. We had a mortgage. We had all kinds of things. And for years, we said, boy, we're so blessed. Our life is so wonderful and amazing. If only we could get our money worked out. Boy, we've got money troubles. We really are always broke. Boy, if we could ever get that worked out, we'd be great. And one day it occurred to us that we were proclaiming the fact that we were broke and knock it off. And when we stopped proclaiming our brokenness, guess what? We weren't broke anymore. And money started to come to us, and we had created a money mantra, and we have used that money mantra for years. I have a fabulous money mantra. Money comes to me easily and often, and I am a terrific manager of the money for myself and my household to ensure all the abundance for us and the charities that we support for our lives as we go forward and to leave great legacies for our children. That is the money mantra. Okay? I am a terrific money manager. All money that comes in, money comes to us easily and often, and it is responsibly utilized to benefit myself, my family, and the charities and organizations that we support. Okay, these are money mantras. And we started to change the money mantra and how we spoke about money and how we thought about money. Instead of like, oh God, I can't believe I have to pay the electric bill. It was like, we had air conditioning this month, and it is hot in Florida, and we have air conditioning, and it was hot in LA in the Valley. And I am so grateful for air conditioning, and I am so grateful for whoever it is that figured out how to bring air conditioning to my house. Here is a check for you. And it changes your attitude about money, and it changes your energy about money. I'm not sure why we got into money of what it is that they're trying to get me to say, but this is what's coming out of my mouth, so we're going to follow this course because I trust them completely that whatever comes out of my mouth is some reason somebody needed to hear it. So we completely changed our energy around money, and this is, okay, I understand, thank you very much. And so this is where we had a major, major life shift. Now, this is this time with Mercury retrograde where we can look at things and go, well, what is it that's going on here that we need to really look at? How we are speaking about, what are we talking about, how are we really thinking about things, and how can we shift that thinking into a more abundant place. And now, because we have the eclipse genie, that we have to be prepared and ready to, receive the wishes of the eclipse genie, we are operating from this place of abundance, because if you knew the genie was coming, that's pretty dang abundant. And so we want to now shift how we're thinking about the situations that we may be in, from a place of lack to a place of abundance, so that when the eclipse genie shows up with the things that we have ordered from last week's eclipse, that we are ready to receive them, because we are abundantly energized. We are energized by abundance. And so Mercury retrograde is saying to you, hey, what is it you're still saying negative stuff about? What are you still claiming negatively in your life? Let's go back and look at this, and let's do a redo and a rethink on how we visit money or health or relationships. Maybe it's your mother-in-law, or maybe it's your, whatever. Hey, easy down there. The big dog is shaking his collar. What is it that we can go back and look at, and that we can say, hey, I need to rethink this. I need to look at this in a different way, and look at it from a lens of abundance while we are in the Mercury retrograde, so that we are ready with an abundant attitude, so that we are ready to be the people who can receive the blessings that the eclipse genie is bringing. Okay, I was saying at this event that I did last Wednesday night about, I am not currently, and I know this about myself, I am not currently a person who is ready to responsibly act on winning $1 million, $8 million. But I think the example we were using at this event that was $8 million. I am not currently a person who is ready to mentally handle what would happen if somebody dropped $8 million into my lap. I am a person who is absolutely ready to handle the responsibility if somebody dropped $1 million in my lap. And I understand that I am a person that is growing to be financially responsible, to be a person who could handle the investment of all of a sudden $8 million dropped into my lap. Now, please, nobody drop dead in order for this money to drop into my lap. That would be first thing. But we become the person who can handle responsibly and receive responsibly the thing that we've asked for. And here's the thing. We go out there and we say, eclipse genie, bring me, whatever. And we ask for all these things, but we don't take the time to stop and say, am I the person I need to be right now in order to be ready to receive the things that the eclipse genie is going to drop in my lap? So I thought about it, and I really sat with it, and I said, that is why $8 million has not shown up to me yet. I am not ready to handle that. I am ready to handle $1 million. We've been working really hard on our finances and how we think about things and putting things in the right places and making things ready for our kids and for inheritance and, whatever, how that ever is going to be. And to be, because right now, let's face it, but we've got the pieces in order to be able to receive things to put into those pots, because we're working on it, okay? And someday there's going to be more things in those pots. And so we're becoming the people that we, 10 years ago, we were not even we need IRAs and we need retirement accounts, and how many people are already set up with their retirement accounts? A lot of people really are. And my girlfriend is super ahead of it. My sister is super ahead. And interestingly, some people having that money trouble now, but they have that piece of it put together. Well, we're the opposite. We had the money for the now to pay the bills, but we didn't have that that stuff put together. So we are fixing those things of how we think about money, because even if you put $1 a week into savings, if you put 25 cents a week in savings, it's something. And it's not about the quantity, it's about the mind shift. And this isn't a banking seminar, but it's about the mind shift, okay? Because when we started, I swear to you, when we started with, and this is no lie, I started with a quarter. 25 cents a week. literally 25 cents a week. I put it in a secret place so I wouldn't touch it and I wouldn't know about it. And it was 25 cents a week. And literally, that is $1 a month. Well, by the end of the year, I had a whopping $12. Big freaking deal. But it was something. And it was something that made me feel like I was doing something positive with money, which changes the energy around the money. And then it changes how you relate to money. It changes how if you think about money as a relationship, because I guess this is what we're talking about today, if you change how you think about money as a relationship, it's not a burden, it's not far-fetched, it doesn't grow on trees, it's not a thing that's out of reach, it's a relationship like you have with a friend. Is your relationship with money a good friend, or is it that bitch? What is your relationship with money? And so when you have the ability to change the relationship to say, hello, little 25 cents. I am very happy to see you. What state quarter are you from? So if you're not from the United States, there was this whole thing a few years ago where they made quarters that was for like every state in the union, so you can see the different states on the back of the quarters. It was something to collect. I was like, oh, okay, you're from Montana. Well, that's really neat. Okay, into the little secret place. Okay, thank you very much, quarter. And the next, period of time, it's like, oh, okay, I can now put 50 cents a week. I can put $1 a week. Something like that. It changes your relationship with money, because here's the thing. Money is the thing that holds most people back from most things. If it's not money, it's health. And here's the thing. If you can change your relationship with money, where you are thinking about it, how you are thinking about it, what is this relationship with money? When you can change that, you can literally change everything else. Because the biggest cause of stress in relationships is money. Okay, so when we can change that, we can change all these things. And so this Mercury retrograde is bringing this up, that I'm not sure exactly why it is that this is coming forward today, but this is pouring out of my mouth in a way that I literally cannot stop it. So clearly this is what is being asked to be shared today, because the Mercury retrograde in the post-eclipse, we are now in the waxing of the moon, the time that is going up to the full moon. This is the time we get in gear. This is the time we do the work, okay? So whatever it was that you asked for during the eclipse energy, Mercury retrograde is asking you right now to go look backwards as we go forward to say, what is it that I need to reassess fast to look at so that I can become the person who is ready to receive responsibly and abundantly this thing that I have asked the universe for. Because if we're not that, when it comes, it's going to bonk off of us like a beach ball hitting you in the head. How many stories have you heard of people who have won the lottery and a year later, 5 years later, they are right back where they were before or worse? Because they were not the person they needed to be to responsibly and abundantly receive what they had asked the universe for. This is our responsibility. If we want the universe to bring $1 million or $8 million, we have to become the person who is ready to abundantly and responsibly receive that. That goes for relationships. Are you looking for an abundant relationship? I got to meet my girlfriend's super cute new boyfriend. This made me so incredibly happy to see her happy and to see how he looked at her, and the work that she did to create space for some person to have a loving place in her life. The work that she did on herself, on her home, on her energy, on how she thought about things, instead of like, I'm never going to find anybody, she really changed that mindset, that relationship with relationship, and how she thought about it, how she talked about it, and what her energy was around it. She really changed it to be able to become the person who was capable of responsibly and abundantly receiving this loving relationship from another person, to welcome that into their lives. It's not just about money, it's about everything. And so this is what we're talking about, is what is it that you need to do? So Mercury, we're still in retrograde for like another 10 days. We're in retrograde until the 25th of April. Is that right? Let me verify and make sure that that's true. I think that it is, but we're going to double check it. Mercury retrograde till the 25th. So we have 10 more days to get this done, but we don't have 10 more days for the moon cycle, right? So the full moon is going to be, when is the full moon? Full moon is on the 23rd. So pretty close. Okay? So pretty close. So you have almost this amount of time that before retrograde is over to get this worked out, because this is the time we're doing the work. So when we get up to the full moon, we get to look around, and we got that, top of the Ferris wheel thing, and we're looking around and we're like, okay, Now what do? I did this work. I made myself ready, or I'm working on it, because it's not always instant. Some things take time. I'm working on it. Where do I go from here? This is the question we ask ourselves at the full moon. Where do I go from here? And this is really important because I'm not going to be here next week. So I want to make sure that we have a little bit bigger picture than we might normally have had of just a week, because I'm going to be gone 1 week for sure, maybe 2. Okay, so when we get to the full moon on the 23rd, we take a look around from the top of the Ferris wheel and we say, okay, where do I go from here? Am I going in the right direction? Do I need to keep going? Do I need to go back? Do I need to release some stuff? Am I holding on to the right things, the wrong things? Am I working on the right things? What is it? Because when you work on the right thing, that thing lights you up. Okay, the thing that you are really wanting to do is the thing that lights you up. Okay, so it is a really different energy when you are working on the thing that is lighting you up. Okay, follow that path. Okay, I had this conversation with my son this morning because he's looking to change his job situation, and he's following that path. He's following the thing that lights him up. So he may have a really awesome job opportunity, it seems like it would be really great. But then there's this other thing over here that might be really great. Which one is going to light him up? And that was the thing we talked about. If they are, one might be a dollar more an hour, maybe than this one. But what is the one that is going to make you go, I am ready to get to work. Let's go. Okay? Follow the thing that lights you up. Okay? We get very caught up in following the thing that's going to pay the most. That may not be the thing that lights you up, and it will affect everything. I have made a bunch of money in a job that just sucked out my soul. And it damaged my health, and it damaged my relationships, and it ultimately damaged my finances as well, because you live in a different way when you have this money that is not being responsibly and energetically abundantly received and managed. Okay? So, okay, I hope all of that made sense in some kind of way, because I think that we're done, because I suddenly just got this wave of whew, out of me. So that means that we've said what they've asked me to say. And so hopefully that is received for all of you. It takes time to become the person that you want to be, that can receive and is ready to receive all these things that we've asked the universe for. But it doesn't have to take forever. How long it takes is really up to us. It does take a minute. It doesn't have to take the rest of our lives. It is a choice that we make to say, I am ready to become. Show me what I need to do. Show me how to make this different. Right? And it is asking. And then, the super hard part is the listening. Because when I stopped and I said, what do I need to know? What do I need to know to change this relationship around money? What do I need to know to change our relationship around money? Because that was the thing I was working on at the time. And then I listened. And that was when I heard, and it showed up everywhere. People were talking about it, podcasts, classes I took, and it was all about, thinking about money as a relationship, right? Thinking about money as a relationship. So this was just about money, but literally it can be applied to wherever you need it to be. What is your relationship with that thing, with that person, with pain in your body? What is your relationship to pain in your body? Are you super mad at it? Are you just resentful and pissed off about it? What is your relationship to that pain in pain in the body? Illness in the body. Chris is getting a new knee. She says maybe after she gets a new knee, she'll jump up and go for a run. I super support that when the time is right. But in the meantime, how are you relating to your current knee? Are you thanking the current knee for being, still supporting your body? Are you thanking your current knee for all the work that it did before now to, I'm so sorry that you've worn out, but I'm thanking you so much for all the times you carried me forward until now. And please know I'm going to take care of you. And I look forward to celebrating your rejuvenation. And, what is that pain trying to tell us? And how can we receive that with love, and rather than negative energy, right? Resentment or anger or frustration at, this damn knee. Okay? So it has an effect in every aspect of our lives. This part plays a part. So, okay. Breathe. Okay, let me get the water. Hang on. As you can see, clearly my energy is back to normal from last week. Yay, Belinda. And Chris Judd says, I'm thanking her the knee for the extra 16 years it gave me. My ortho surgeon said when I was 14, I'd have to have both knees replaced before I was 30, and when extra 16 years. That is quite a lot, an extra 16 years. That's awesome. They told me the same thing about my hips, that I would need to have my hips done by the time I was 30. I'm 54, still, one small knee surgery, and that's pretty much it. So, so we thank the body. We thank those, those pieces of us that have continued working. And so here is our animal spirit card, and this is the Stephen Farmer Animal Spirit deck. And so this is the card that I picked of what do we need to know about what's going on from the animal communication this week. And it is the mountain goat, and it says, there's something out of balance in your life, so do whatever you need to do to correct it. I mean, you literally cannot make this shit up. I mean, the cards are amazing. This is one of the reasons I love working with the cards, because, I mean, Spirit listens, they pay attention to what we're talking about, they know I'm saying what they're asking me to say, and then here we go, we pull a card, and bam, there's something out of balance. Do whatever you need to do to correct it. And this is exactly what we were just talking about with Mercury retrograde and coming out of the solar eclipse and moving into the time of the full moon in the next 8 days. Okay, we have 10 days to the end of retrograde, and we have 8 days to the full moon. So do whatever you need to do to correct that imbalance. Do it now. Okay, this is the getting in motion, the getting in motion, the getting in motion, the getting in motion. Okay, we're looking back, we're seeing what we need to deal with, and we're moving forward. Okay. Okay, that was a lot of energy. I feel like my head is a little like, I have this pressure on my head right now from all of that. They're just like, yay, so much information. Okay. Let's do some cards for the collective card reading. So if you're new, we do a couple of cards, maybe 3, maybe 4. That's going to be a collective card reading for all of us. What do we need to know? And then we'll do individual card readings for anybody who would like one. Okay? So we have, first one. Okay, so the Fates. The Fates, this is the first card, is where are we? Where are we right now? What do we need to know about what's going on right now? And with the Fates, we have this reminder that, sorry, I need to get my flashlight. With the Fates, we have this reminder that we are, everything that is happening that right now, like we are exactly where we are meant to be. Now, that doesn't mean we're meant to stay here. It means that we are where we are meant to be, or we are where we are by the choices that we've made, right? So this is that we are where we're supposed to be, but it doesn't necessarily mean that we're supposed to stay here, okay? So the Fates remind us that A, first of all, we're not alone. Second of all, B, that we are exactly where we're supposed to be in order to make these assessments and make these changes and be positioned for the growth that is going to put us to be ready for the eclipse genie to come. Okay, so this is, we are exactly in the right place, but again, it is not a card of complacency. It says, yes, you're in the right place, but this is not necessarily where you're meant to stay. Now is a time of collaboration with yourself and with Spirit so that you can go forward to go to the next place together. Okay, this is what the Fates is talking about. Okay. All right. Then what else do we need to know about this situation is peace, to be at peace. Now this is card 23. The Fates card was 12, so 17. Sorry, 17. So 1 and 7 is 8, and then the peace card is 23. So that's 5. Okay, the peace card, you can see it's a sunny day. The grass is, green on the meadow, but this is the egg. This is the universe, the possibility. This is creation. This is a smiling, resting, peaceful egg face. This is our ability to create and to cultivate and manifest in the world. And so this is be at peace. So this reminds us that we are not meant to be in this place of agitation, like I don't have enough money, oh my knee hurts, all of the negative energy that we were just talking about. This reminds us that we need to be in peace and in gratitude and in thank you for showing me all the lessons that brought me to this new understanding about money, all the lessons that brought me to this new understanding about pain, the lessons that brought me to this new understanding about relationships. Well, I'm going to be at peace instead of being in anger and resentment and lack and frustration, all of those things. This is the time to say, okay, How do we change that relationship, right? This is what we were just talking about. How do we change that relationship? So the fates tell us we are where we are. We are where we are supposed to be. This is where we have landed. But now how do we go forward? Do we go forward by being angry and doing all the things that we've done up until now? No. We go forward by being at peace. We go forward by saying, okay, I'm changing that relationship of that energy around whatever it is that I'm trying to change. Now, where are the stumbling blocks going to be? The stumbling blocks are going to be in the serendipities. The stumbling blocks are going to be in not paying attention to the serendipity. Serendipity is, people say coincidence. I don't believe in coincidence. The serendipity is the part where the universe is going, hey, did you see that happen? That's really cool. Wow, did you see what that happened? I can't believe that just happened. And then we go, wow, what a coincidence. And then we move along. And the universe is going, hey, I'm working hard here to make these coincidences, these serendipities for you so that you will notice. Okay, so where are we going to get stumbled on? Like, where are we going to stumble as we're trying to come to this place of peace? We're going to stumble by not paying attention. This is what I said before. The thing that we have to do now is to listen, right? And so where we are going to stumble is when the universe is trying to create these things that we will notice. And when we go, la, 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 and we don't notice. So the universe is saying, hey, be mindful of those things that are serendipitous so that you are knowing where we are trying to get your attention, where we're trying to point your attention. Because the universe is trying to go like this. Look over there. You ever see the thing like where you can't, like somebody says, oh my God, look at that. And you're like, what, where? And they go, look. And you're like, oh shit. And it was literally like right in front of you. You don't know how you even missed it. But, you know, like I wasn't looking at that. So this is what serendipity is about, is the universe is trying to go, there, look there. Ooh, don't knock your glasses off. Okay, so this is what's going on. Okay, then the last card is, what is the last thing that we need to know about this particular situation for us, okay? And that is chaos and conflict, and this card comes in upside down, and so this is the things that are already happening for us. So this is chaos and conflict. It comes in upside down. I'm going to put it right side up so we can see it. And so this is card 33, which is 6, which is really interesting because we had a 9, a 5, an 8, so 8, 9, 6. 5, 6, and 8, 9. Very interesting, which shows us progression, right? And so then we have, oopsie, hang on a second. So Aziz, you're a spammer, and I'm going to ban you, so please just leave, because as soon as you make a post, so we're just going to ban you. So we're just going to wait for a second, because we know Aziz is coming, right? And I apologize. Oh, there you are. There you go. And you're banned. Banned. So stupid, these spammers. Okay. Sorry. I'm sorry. You can literally see them coming. They're just so stupid. Okay. And my apologies to all the non-spammers. Okay. So the chaos and conflict. So very interesting that we have the 5, 6, and then we have the 8, 9, right? The 8, 9. So showing us progression, showing us that we're on the right track. Hi, Monica. Showing us that we're on the right track, that we're going in the right direction. Chaos and conflicts reminds us that things are already in motion. So when it's upside down, okay, so you can see it in the first, so we've got a horse that's trying to be a zebra or a giraffe. It's not really sure what it is. You get this beautiful sunset. The wind is blowing. The sunlight is behind him, pushing him forward, right? So we are going forward. We are going in the right direction. However, this is reminding us that things are already happening. The changes are already in motion, right? We have already made the wishes to the eclipse genie. Things are already happening. We need this change to happen. And our job is not to ignore it, right? We talked about serendipity, the universe trying to get our attention. This is to work in concert with the conflict. So when things come up and you're like, oh, what is going on? Don't try to ignore it. Don't try to resist it. Allow it, okay? So when we're having this chaos and conflict, understanding what we talked about before, I am not yet the person who is grown through obstacles. It is in the valleys that we grow. I am not yet the person who has grown through obstacles, who is ready to responsibly and abundantly receive millions of dollars. I am the person who has grown, who is ready to receive $1 million. And so I'm going to stop proclaiming all that. I'm going to keep proclaiming. I'm going to go back to proclaiming the millions of dollars. But this was the example that I wanted to use for today because it was literally a conversation I had with a guest at the event we did on Wednesday up in Lake Mary. So these things, these chaos and conflict, these obstacles are the things that help us to grow, to become the person who is ready to responsibly and abundantly receive millions of dollars and perfect health and all the things, great relationships. We have to become that person. The only way that we become that person is by having the challenges that help us to grow, to change our perspective, to become the person. So here we have this great reminder. The mountain goat says, hey, there is something off balance with you right now and you need to fix it right now because we have 8 days to the full moon and 10 days to the end of the Mercury retrograde. This is the time to do this. Look at what is going on right now. And then we have this reminder with the fates that we are not alone. We are 100% supported by the other side, by spirit, by angels and guides and loved ones in spirit who are helping us to move forward, that we are 100% not alone. And the thing that we need to do is be at peace with where we are, because we are where we are because this is where we need to be right now. At the same time, we are not meant to sit on our butt. The serendipities are coming to show us, hey, look over here. We're trying to get your attention because you're going to be like, oh, wow, that's really cool. And then let it go by. And spirit is going, hey, this is for your benefit. Pay attention to these things that I'm trying to show you. We're trying to show you because there are going to be some changes and some chaos and conflict, but understand that this is all part of the plan to help you grow and become the person who has ready to receive this abundance, who has got this support with spirit, and who is changing the thing that's out of balance so that you are able to go forward and be the person who can receive the thing that you asked for in the eclipse. Woo! Okay. I think we're done with that. Whew. I am like, my heart is pounding and my pulse is behind my ears going, ah. So they are hot and passionate about us getting this message this week. So now, Tracy knows what time it is. Hi, Tracy. So now is the time. If you would like to have a card, I'm going to grab a sip of water, and we are going to do individual card readings. And as I said, clearly we are recovered from last week. Which, whoop, whoop, makes me happy because I hate cheaping out on you guys. I hate cutting it short and not being able to do the individual card readings because I know that this means so much. And I really, but self-care is self-love. And I saw a gal in the airplane when I was coming back from Cleveland on Saturday. It said, self-care is not selfish. And I love that because she's 100% right. It was a great t-shirt. Self-care is major. That is self-love. It is not selfish. So, all right. So, you know how we go. We go in order. And so if you want a card, ask me for a card. What are you oopsing for? I see everybody. We're going to go in order. And if you want a card, you have to ask for it. Okay. So we're going to start with, I'm not sure why Belinda's oopsing. We're going to start with Tracy and then Belinda. Oh, did you think you were jumping the gun, Belinda? You're good. It's all good. All right, so we're going to do Tracy and Belinda, and then we're going to come over here to Monica. We're going to come back for Chris. So Tracy, this card is to be fair. It says to be fair, and you can see she's standing on her legs. She's kind of flying around up in the thing there. This is about having the imbalance. Okay, so you can see she's got legs going everywhere. She's like, ah. Okay, so she's trying to have cake and eat it too, Tracy. So this is, hi Rose. So this is about really getting clear about what you want, because this is feeling like, to be fair, it feels like, well, I want this, but I want this, and I want, it's like we're not clear in our heart, we're not clear in our mind where we're going, what it is that we want. Okay, this is card 38, so 8, 9, 10, 11. So this is 1 and 1 is 2. So this is the start of a new journey, but it's also, you're seeing this, this pattern of split. So you have card 38, so 8, 9, 10, 11, that's a double number, and then you have 1 and 1 adds together to be 2, which is also a double number because it's a pair. So it's talking about your being of two minds of things, that you're not really fully sure which direction you're trying to go in and what it is you're trying to do. So you're really straddling some internal conflict here, and so what they're talking about is Tracy, this is the time for you to take a moment and get some clarity. Okay, so this is time for you to just take a minute and just get, maybe write out a pros and cons list, but it is important that you get clarity about what it is you really want, not what you think you're supposed to want or what you think everybody else is going to make everybody else happy, but the thing that you want, and that's the place to move forward. Okay, follow the joy, follow the thing that amps you up, the thing that fires you up, not necessarily the thing that maybe looks great on paper or the thing that's going to make everybody else happy. Okay, so Tracy, this is your fabulous life and you get to make the rules about it. Okay, so they're really talking about choosing a side. Okay, and I know that is not always an easy thing to do. So, and if you need more help with that, please don't hesitate to send me a message. All right, Belinda, this is a change in the wind, and this is card number 12, so 1 and 2 is 3, and this card comes in upside down, and so I'm going to show it to you right side up. It's the zebra with this little house on top, and it's really not a house, it's the bird cage. That is, you are so welcome, Tracy. So this is a bird cage because you can see all the wonderful things that are flying out of it, but this is the change in the wind. This is upside down, and this is this reminder that stuff happens, okay? Things are going to go sideways, right? So we've got a change in the wind, and we think we're going in one direction, and all of a sudden we're like, wait, what? Things happen, and we're pushed off course. But remember what we were just talking about. There's really no way to not be on course. We're just no longer on the course that we thought in our mind is what we were on, because now we're on course to have the experiences for us to become the person that we need to be to receive the millions of dollars, right? So, Belinda, this is not a negative. And remember, we talked about how are we receiving this information? Are we receiving it with like, well, fuck? Or are we receiving it with like, okay, the universe is protecting me from something. The universe is trying to change my direction. The universe is trying to show me something so that I can grow and become the person that I need to be to receive the gifts that I've asked for. So this is a change in the wind. So changes around you, Belinda, but it is change for the better. You're not going to like it, but try to say, okay, where's the blessing in it, right? Remember the story of the ponies? I know I've told this story so many times. Of the 2 kids in the rooms, it was a psych experiment, and it was like each room was filled with a giant pile of horse poop. And the one kid is like, this is terrible. It's the worst thing that ever happened to me. And the other kid just dives right into the pile of horse poop, and they're like, what are you doing? It's like, well, with all this horse poop in there, there's got to be a pony somewhere. Okay, so we're all going to have the horse poop. How are we choosing to receive it? How are we choosing to look at that situation? Are we looking at it like a tragedy, or are we looking at it as the thing that's moving us in a new direction, knowing that it's for our highest good? And Belinda, knowing the little bit about you that I do, I know that you are going to receive these challenges and these shifts as things that are going to be for your highest and best good, and trust that the universe is pushing you in the right direction for you to become the person that you need to be to receive the blessings you've asked for. So things are changing, that's great, but when it gets hard, remember the horse poop, okay? And look for the pony. Look for the pony. All right, so we're going to jump over to, and I look forward to hearing about the blessings that you find in the changes for Belinda. All right, we're going to jump over to Monica on Instagram. And my friend, my love, thank you for tuning in. It's so good to see you, or at least your little tiny picture of you. Okay, so for Monica, we have round and round. So this is card 25, so 2 and 5 is 7. So you're going in the right direction, right? Things may be getting a little bumpy right now, but round and round reminds us that this is, you see the sacred geometry shapes? I'm going to show it to both cameras. Okay, round and round reminds us that we are seeing things in a new perspective, right? We may be going back to the same place that we were before, but it reminds us to see things from a higher perspective. It reminds us to, hi Michelle, it reminds us to see things from, to really give ourselves that pat on the back for how far we've come, and it really gives us that reminder that we need to look at things from a different perspective and say, look, I know I've been here before, but look how far I've come, because sometimes we forget to look backwards and be like, well, I really am making progress. It might not feel like it, but this is a reminder that you are making progress, but to see things from a different perspective, and to just know that when you're coming back to this place, you're not coming back to the same place, even that you think that you may think it's coming back to the same place. it's not, because you are coming back to a higher perspective, okay? And so this again reminds just what we were talking about with Belinda, is that things are happening, things are shaking and changing, you know, getting shook up and changing, but it is really for your highest good, and that you are in a different place. You're not the person that you were, okay? So this is a reminder to applaud yourself and you know, give yourself that hug that says, I have already accomplished so much. I am now more the person I need to be, to grow to be, to become the person who's ready to receive the millions of dollars. Okay, does that make sense? All right, so this is the sacred geometry. So, and Monica says that's spot on. So, yay. And Chris says, things you think you'll never hear. When things get tough, think of the horse poop. Well, you know, if it fits. All right, Christian, it is your turn. It is your turn. All right, so we'll have more cards. So we have Chris, and then we have Rose, and okay. You guys crack me up. You all crack me up. I'm trying to move away from saying things like you guys or hey guys, because I feel like it's not as inclusive. So you folks make me smile. So, all right, so we have Chris, and then we have Rose. Is that right, Rose? Yes. Okay, Chris. So Chris asked for a card about either health or income, whatever they tell you that you need to hear. So this card, isn't that so interesting? So I went back to look at your comment. I'm holding the card right here. I have already pulled it. Monica, you're so welcome, my friend. Mwah. I already pulled the card. I haven't looked at it yet, but I scrolled back up to see your, you could go with y'all, to see your comment about what card you wanted. And so the card that was pulled, because you asked about money, the card that was pulled, all that glitters. And this cracks me up because, you know, you can't make these things up. So they always know what it is that we need to hear. So this reminds us, with all that glitters, to look a little deeper, right? So if we're just chasing the dollar signs, we're going in the wrong direction. So this is to look for that fulfillment for the relationships. This is about seeking the things that are going to light you up. This is seeking the things that are going to bring energetic abundance and love abundance and those kind of things to you. The money will follow. When we're only looking for the money, then we can be blinded by all that glitters, and we can scratch the surface and see, oh, well, maybe it's just some cold-plated painted shiny. So we want to make sure that we don't get caught up in the all that glitters. We want to make sure that we are looking a little deeper for the values that align with what it is that's important to us, right? So we want to make sure that we are looking for that substance over the flash. Okay, so as we are looking for new jobs, or we're looking for changes in our financial situations, remember, we are going through the things that are going to help us to become the person that we need to be, to learn the lessons, to become the person who can receive, who is ready to receive responsibly and abundantly all the money, money, money. But at the same time, we don't want to jump at the thing that might be lots of flash and no substance. So follow your guts. I know Chris Judd very well, and I know that she has great guts. I love her guts. Trust your guts and follow the things that light you up, that light up your heart. Those are going to be the things that are going to lead you in the right direction. Of the money will follow, the heart leads the way. Okay? All right, so we're going to do a card for Rose. And if anybody else wants one, you just let me know. Yeah, drop my cards. Okay. Rose. And thank you for joining us. This is a name that's newish to me. So this comes in upside down. This is Time for a Nap. This is card 24. It's the number 6. So 4 and 2 is 6. It comes in upside down. So I'm going to show it to you upside down, and then I'm going to turn it to you right side up. Okay, so then you have this beautiful golden moon, and the moon has got a nice smile on his face, and he's very relaxed, and he's asleep. And here is this little fox that is sleeping in the crook of the moon, knowing they are safe and they are protected. They are being supported by the moon. This reminds us, Rose, not to push, not to try and make it happen, right? This reminds us to, I see that comment, Chris, I'll come back to that in a second, that it is safe for us to take a break and allow the universe time to work. So we want to dream big while we are dreaming in this place where we're taking a nap. And this, I feel like, maybe is in alignment with Chris Judd as well. that we want to dream big while we're taking a nap, but at the same time, we want to allow the universe, the cogs of the universe, time to do the work, okay? So we want to be prepared for when the time is ready, like when opportunity knocks, you've got to be ready to go, right? But at the same time, we want to allow things to develop. It's that thing, so my son had an interview today and they're passing him on to the next level, and I said, well, when are you going to hear? He's like, well, it could be from here to there. And I said, okay, great, and in my mind I'm like, well, who do we need to talk to make this go faster, right? Because that's sometimes, especially as a mama, right? But the reality is we need to take a nap, and we need to just let him work it out. We need to let that situation develop, because it's going to develop in the way that's going to serve his highest and best good. And so this is where we are for Rose. This is time for a nap. It's just, you've done the work, you've done the things. This is now time for you to just take a rest for a minute, take a beat, and let the universe work out the things that are going to be next to come in and bless you. Okay? So that is going to be the message for Rose. But it's really a good message for all of us, right? We talked a lot about getting ready, doing the work. But once we've done the work, we've got to take that break and say, okay, I have done everything I can do for myself to be ready to move forward. I cannot push. We have to give the universe time to develop, right? And so what they say about a watched pot never boils, right? The water in the pot is going to boil when it boils. It's going to boil when it boils. And then I know there's science and chemistry that tells you how long it's going to give this much water and this much heat, and that's how long it's going to take. But it's going to take as long as it takes. So once we've done everything that we could do, we put the water in the pot, we put the pot on the burner, we remember to turn the burner on. Now you gotta wait. Okay. So you are so welcome, Rose. You are so welcome, sis. Thank you so much. Needed that. And Chris says she's not chasing the choice. She's chasing the choices, not the dollars. Linda Tupin says money may not buy happiness, but it does buy choices. That's true. That's true. All right. So we got a jumper card. So we'll do one more card with that. But it's true. The money does absolutely buy the choices. We want to make sure we make the right choices. We want to make sure that we are the people who can be responsible with when the time comes for us to make the choices. Are we the person who is ready to be responsible to make the choices abundantly and with blessing for all, right? Okay. All right. So this, interesting. So this card just hopped out. I always like to do one card to wrap it up. So this is the Observer card. So this is 49. So 4 and 9 is 13. Right? 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And so 13, 1, and 3 is 4. Okay. So 14, so 4 is, we always say the 4 legs of a chair or 4 legs of a table. This reminds us that we are standing on something stable. We are standing on something that is supporting us. We're sitting on a chair. We are stable. We are supported. The ground is not going to fall out from beneath of our butt, and that we are taking the time to look around and see what is happening. The observer is looking at the beautiful night sky. You've got the moon up there, right? If you look really carefully, you might see the little fox taking a nap. So this is the time that as the moon is waxing, okay, it's not a full moon. The moon is up there, but this is the opportunity for us to pay attention to what's going on around us, okay? This is what's important. Pay attention to what's going on around us. Okay, also I want to invite you to follow my YouTube channel. You can find my name on YouTube. All these videos get posted to YouTube. They're also on Instagram. And that a reminder that we will not be here next week. I will be in England. I'm very excited. If you're looking for my house, you're going to find kids and dogs. I'm looking forward to the break of being away from all of that, but we'll have more about that when we get back. So there will not be any kind of Thursday to Monday, Thursday, this whole next week, and then hopefully on the 29th we will be back together. It will largely depend on how I feel, flying home on the 28th. So I look forward to seeing all of you when I get back. Really, really excited. And on the tail end of that, if you are local to me, I will be back at the Lake Mary Pub for an evening of Oracle cards on May 1st. So look for flyers around that as well. So really looking forward to all of that. If you're local, come on out and hang out with us. And I love you all. Always remember how very much the universe has our back. The universe wants only the love and the best for us. And you are so very, very loved. Mwah. I will see you in 2 weeks.